Damn, this is a nice camera. Damn. So, a little bit of change of scene. What's good? Officially spoiled. Change of scenery. We are in the family room right now. And what's good? Ooh, House of Swarm. Okay, Brandon's gonna be joining soon. So we got 4 people live right now. So yeah, the change of scenery is that in the family room right now. Just got these like Wi-Fi extenders, so things should be better with the connection. Chat, let me know if like the connection is not good or stable or anything like that. Oh yeah, he's coming in, but because he's such a powerful entity, we have to evoke him like black magic style. So here we go. We're gonna evoke the Dark Prince. He is coming. He should be here any minute. Oh shit! There he is. What's good, my buddy? What's
up?
good?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. You have officially been summoned. What's good, official skimmer? Star Phoenix? What's good? Oh yeah, the chat's gonna go crazy now. Dude, this is great. It's good to finally talk to you again, like kind of in person.
Yeah, we met when I played in LA in like February or March, right?
Yeah, back at that space yacht.
Yeah, Space Yacht. Yeah, that was cool.
Space Yacht was super cool because I actually met like a bunch of people that I had talked to online. I met Quaxon.
Yeah, that show was crazy. How many of my internet friends that all were there in one place? It was pretty fucking wild.
Damn, that was in February?
February? Oh, it might have been March.
Yeah, I think it was like February or March or something like that. It was a while ago.
It was definitely before April. Or it might have been the first week of April. It's somewhere like that. I don't know. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope to come back and play in LA soon. That was a lot of fun. That was a really fun show.
Yeah, that was. It was one of the only like exclusively mid-tempo shows that I've ever like been to. In fact, I think it's
I've never
the
been to
one that's ever happened.
I've never been to one before that either. Pretty wild.
So what are your thoughts on, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on like mid-tempo as like a scene or like a community or a genre? I know like saying mid-tempo is kind of weird because it's a tempo, but it's kind of like it's become its own genre. I've been kind of toying around with the term like industrial bass.
Yeah.
There isn't really an official genre for that stuff, but what do you think about that?
What just in general?
Just like in general, like because like you kind of do everything. I mean, you have like a very dark like cinematic quality too, but you do a lot of mid tempo. So I'm guessing like you're into it.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. What got me into let's just call it mid tempo. What got me into mid tempo was more growing up. I listened to a lot of like like industrial techno kind of shit, like maybe not industrial techno, but like industrial rave, maybe like Combi Christ, like a bunch of like industrial dance, basically industrial dance, like Rammstein, like all that shit that had that 4/4 like stompy ass fucking. But even bands like that aren't industrial, like Korn, like those all like you don't really think about it at first, but a lot of those people have like slower BPMs, and because they all just have that. There's not a big variation in terms of like rhythm, but like it's just so stompy and just driving. That's the kind of shit that got me into what I'm doing now, and they still influence me a lot. But actually, before I ever produced music ever, Twisted Prince this year's fucking cool. Hey, hi, I'm Ghost. Hi, I'm Swarm. Haha, shit. Okay. What got me into it is one of the first like 100 BPM songs I heard that wasn't like the shit I grew up listening to was yours. It was your remix of I want to say it was a K Theory song, 15 maybe.
Yeah, it was K Theory. Was it K Theory? Be like.
Be like, yeah. Be like. Be like, I still actually the funny thing is I have that in my sets now.
Damn, really? How does that
Yeah.
go off? That's kind of an older track with like, I have like
It's
low
you know
quality
what, man?
production value.
Well, no, like the production is really good. Like still, it holds up really well. It's
Thank you.
almost a lot of your older stuff has almost now. Don't get mad at me by saying this, but it almost has like a big room influenced. It's almost like big room mid tempo, and it's fucking cool, dude. It's really fucking cool, and that's the whole reason why I'm here. It's the whole reason why I'm talking to you right now. That's how I found you.
Damn.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Really? Fuck. I'm honored. I'm also like not surprised that you say big room because like when I was making that music, this is before I'm on Reason right now, and so but back in
Yeah.
the day, Reason did not have access to VST, so I wasn't able to
Yeah.
use really cool synths like Massive and Serum. So to get like a lot of bass, I was using like big room techniques because all you really do is just put like a sine and distort it and put it under your kick, and you have like fat low end. And I was like, I'll just put samples to get people hyped. And I learned that from just listening to a lot of big room. I was really into this guy Clockwork, who people probably know as.
I did not know Arlo Grime with Clockwork. I had no idea until you just said that. I
Really?
listened to Clockwork though. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's his old
Fucking
house project.
crazy.
And I almost like Clockwork more, but I totally understand why he kind of did Ariel Grime because like back in that time, trap was really. I mean, trap is still really big, but
Yeah.
like it just kind of blew him up harder.
That's crazy. I had no fucking idea. I do remember Clockwork. There was one song in particular that I really, really liked. I don't remember which one it was, but that was cool. Yeah, I mean, it was, a lot of that stuff. Some of it still holds up pretty well. I think. I'm one of the few, and I think I'm probably gonna get a lot of people laughing at me for saying this. Like, I think when like Big Room, I think there's a lot of similarities between how Big Room exploded and then just went away and it just vanished. I think, believe it or not, I think it's going to make a comeback. You can quote me on that all you want. I don't necessarily want it to make a comeback, but I think it's going to happen. Just like Progressive House made a huge comeback, but I think that will come down to like the artistry of whoever's doing it. I don't think it's not the genre. It's more of the artistry of whoever's utilizing it, I think. And that's kind of how I feel about mid tempo is it's a really cool, it's been around for a while in a different form. But shut up, Synthfire. Fucking laugh at me. Oh my God. Don't even get me started with you. Oh my God. Anyways, I think it's not about the music. It's not about the genre. It's about the artist. And it's not going to do anything if you're not making something worthwhile to listen to beyond one time. And I think that's what's happening in mid-tempo right now is a lot of people are just throwing a single note, long drawn out bass line and just calling it a day. That's cool. That's fun. Like you can live throwing that in a set that's not mid-tempo live. That shit's great, but it's not. I don't want to listen to that again. No, I know a lot of people are not going to want to listen to it over and over. It has no replay value. So, that's all I care about. I don't care about genres. All I care about is replay value. I want my music to live way past when I'm dead. I want people to still listen to my music. 'Cause I don't care about what's trendy or whatever. But yeah, mid-tempo is cool. There's a lot of cool people doing it. You, Slews, God. Curly used to do mid-tempo. Now he's doing kind of the freeform bass stuff. Volek has shifted into Progressive House, and he kind of started in doing mid-tempo stuff. He's one of the most talented people I've ever met before. Shit, God, there's so many to even name. Vivian
Zabo?
did some. Zabo, yeah, he does some groovy, funky shit. He does some house too, which is good for him. Good for him. That's cool. He can diversify really well. That's good. I don't want to keep naming people because I'm just gonna forget, and then somebody's gonna be mad. I know there's more, so sorry. but it's about the music at the end of the day. It's not about the subgenre or anything like that. You can make good music, it's gonna last.
True. True. I wanted to ask you what you thought about bass music. So like this, let me like elaborate question more. So like I've been noticing this interesting trend where like bass music is
Yeah.
and it's like it's a new thing. And I'm kind of I mean I'm into it in the sense that like I think it's cool that like electronic music is creating all these avenues,
Yeah.
but like I prefer to dance to music. So I just wanted to know, like, what you think of like bass music becoming that, since like I assume you have like metal roots or punk roots or something like that. So you're
Yep.
probably very familiar with that style of like engagement.
Um, what I am seeing right now, I'm trying to think how to word this, is it's definitely becoming everything is. Let me start with what I think is going to happen. And what I've seen happen already, just because, especially because right now I'm on tour with Sullivan King, and he blends metal and dubstep, and I had a song come out with him that was mid-tempo stuff, so like he definitely takes both of those worlds and just smashes them together, and I see a lot because I play with them, so like I see a lot of people doing the moshing shit. um, I do a lot of remixes of songs that aren't, that are like not originally electronic songs. Like I did my Slipknot remix, and I played in Buffalo 2 weeks ago, and I saw people just they were moshing and shit to it, and it's like, that I understand. It's cool. Let me just clarify everything by saying I think it's fucking cool. That's my answer to that. But some dude like broke his leg and shit during it too, which is really bad. But it's interesting to see that happening at electronic music shows because you're right. Like I grew up in a metal band, so like, or I didn't grow up. I came from a metal band, and I know what happens at those kind of shows. But now I'm seeing it happen in electronic. I don't have a problem with it at all because at the end of the day, I think music should be music. I do not give a shit what style. I think if it's good music, do whatever the fuck you want to it. I don't dance. I couldn't dance if I fucking tried, man. Are you kidding me? I would be the laughing stock of the world if I ever tried to dance. If I'm into something and I'm fucking feeling it, I'll stand there with my arms crossed, smile, and just nod my head. And if it's really good, I'll do this. You'll see this fucking smile come on onto my face, and that's how I've always been. On stage, I go fucking crazy. But when it comes to listening to music, sometimes, if it's insane, I'll like laugh and kind of like, do a stupid dance. But like, everybody reacts differently to it. And I think especially at festivals and shit where you have these thousands of people all coming and watching the same person, if it's super aggressive, it makes sense for me that they want to mosh to it because there's a reason why there's so many metal people that were in metal bands and have metal roots that have done electronic now is because it's the same thing. Your drops or breakdowns. It's the exact same fucking thing. You can get creative with metal or you can be boring with metal. You can do the same thing over and over with metal or you can do the same thing over and over with dubstep. It doesn't matter. They're the same fucking thing. It's just it appeals to obviously kind of a different style of or like a different audience, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Like I'm seeing the same kind of people that were going to these Under Oath shows and the Devil Wears Prada shows back in the day. I'm seeing them now. They're watching Sullivan King at Lost Lands. It's the same thing, and like so, it makes sense to me that aggressiveness is spilling over because it to me it's the same thing. And that's what drew me in the first place. So I like it.
Nice. For me, it's like it's very interesting because my roots are very like electronic music based. I like only very recently got into metal, and like by recently I mean like 3 years. But like compared to like metalheads, I feel like that they've been listening to metal for like a while since they were like 12 or something like that. Usually,
Yeah.
So like me as like an older like dude in his like mid 30s, like
He'll be
listening.
35 tomorrow.
Thank you, baby.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. So like I'm just kind of getting into it and like exploring it, and so like mosh culture and headbanging culture is like super new to me, especially at like electronic dance music, because I've been going to like EDM shows since like 2002, and everyone just kind of danced. I'm more of into like dance music, but I I do see what you're saying with like bass music being kind of like metal music, because I remember when I was going to like production school in like around 2006, there was
Yeah.
like this one metalhead there, and he was like really into drum and bass because he was saying it was like it's kind of like metal. But I have a question for you. So like
Yeah.
breakdowns in metal are different than breakdowns in EDM. Can you? Because like when I think of breakdown, I think of like everything kind of like drops out, like like an EDM, like electronic music breakdown. But like in metal, it's like it seems to be a little bit different because they have like the gents going and they kind of go hard. Is that am I getting that correctly? It's like kind of a different breakdown.
I mean, yeah, and sonically it's different, but it's the same idea. It's usually, again, you can do it really creatively, or you can do it to make somebody want to fucking smash somebody's face in. But listen to my music, you will hear actual breakdowns. That's the whole thing. That's why I like doing what I'm doing. Is there's, I use my sense like a guitar, and I put. It's not meant to replace instruments, but it's meant to be this exact same feel, which is that kind of shit. Like, so what you're saying is true. Yes, sonically, it usually is really different because your drop, right now rhythm's popular, so you have your your fucking your up and down, up and down, and up and down thing, but that is the same idea. It's not musical usually. It's just for you to just fucking punch somebody's face in.
Go hard, yeah.
Yeah, it's just meant for you to go hard. That's what breakdowns are. You can do creative breakdowns and make them weird. You can do gent breakdowns. You can do all that shit. But the basis of like listen to like I don't know, Chelsea Grin, any kind of deathcore, and you'll hear their breakdowns are just like, I'm gonna fucking jump out a goddamn window right now because I just want to fucking punch somebody in the face.
Interesting.
That's all they're meant to do. You can make
I think I get it.
They're meant to be aggressive.
Yeah, for
Drops
sure.
are meant to make everybody go fucking crazy. And in hardcore and metal, like, or at least in hardcore and metalcore, like back when I was doing it, like you had the fucking hardcore dance where people are flailing and fucking, doing all that crazy shit. So, it's the same thing, except now people are headbanging to like dubstep drops. It's weird, whatever, but it's super weird, but that's cool. Whatever you want to do to have a good time, I don't care.
I think like the headbanging for like the dubstep and rhythm people is it's like it goes pretty hard, but it's like a lot safer. And I think a lot of like electronic like fans or people that are into that, like, I mean, especially coming from like the Plur vibe, you don't really think about like getting your like nose broken or anything like crazy like that. Whereas like I've had like metalhead friends, and they're into like they're going to battle. They're like going to the war field, and they're like they expect to get like hurt, and they're like, yo, if you don't want to like play with us, like don't go in the pit. If I see you on the ground, I'll pick you up, but like know what you're getting into. Like that's kind of like their attitude.
Right. Yes. That is the attitude of especially like the original, like the raw hardcore kids. I don't think it's not always that way, like especially in metalcore. There was a while where Christian music was the dominator of metalcore, like Under Oath, these huge, the Devil Wears Prada. They were Christian bands that literally took the fuck over. And when you went to those shows, you had plenty of people that, wanted to, fucking punch somebody in the face or whatever. I never liked that because that's just not fun to me. But there are a lot of people that just want to do it. Just like in moshing, you have the stupid people that everybody hates that just wants to fucking hurt somebody. Then you have the people that are like, if somebody falls, pick them up, that kind of thing. That's the mentality now. And it was the main mentality back when I was playing metal and going to metal shows and shit. So you're right. But those are really kind of the troublemaker fringe people that want to just go into a war zone kind of thing. That's how I look at it, and that's my experience with it. So that's again why I don't think it's that much different, because nobody wants to get hurt unless you're fucking crazy, which there's a lot of fucking crazy people out there. But I think mostly people are just trying to have a good time, and I think that you'll see, you know, as this progresses and as it gets bigger and more popular, I think that you'll see they're becoming like unsaid rules kind of thing of what's going on, just like there was in metal. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's EDM, and when I say EDM, I just mean like I know like the old school like trance house and techno guys, they don't even consider their stuff EDM because they see that as more of the newer thing. But I kind of use that term just to talk about the whole shebang. It's been around for like a while now. Like I think like the first like dance or like electronic track that was like around in like the 90s, and as you get old you kind of like lose track of time. It's like almost 2020, so we're this whole style of electronic music has like been around, and it's like creating culture. I remember when I was listening to this kind of music in like high school, it was so underground and like nerdy, and like now there's like these huge festivals. It's like as big as like hip hop was like 10 years ago. And I almost think that like at some point, maybe we've arrived at that point, like where it's not going to be like genre specific. It's going to be more like artist specific. Because you know like how like hip hop, like there's all different. I mean, there's, if you're like a hip hop aficionado, there's like styles of hip hop. I think like trap is like probably the biggest, most popular, well-known one, but like it's just hip hop and it's more artist driven. Like artists have styles. I think we're going to get to a point where like you just have artists. Like I feel like you're kind of an example of someone that's like that. Like you just have like a sound and like a brand, and like that's like what you do.
That's what I would do. That's my whole goal.
Yeah. And because like before it was like artists were like, I'm a house DJ, or like I'm a deep house DJ, producer, and like they just do that.
Yeah.
And I think because like now the market's bigger, like there's just, you're able to do that and like actually kind of sustain, even though like things are really saturated and it makes it harder, but like it also in a way makes it easier, because like, you know the saying, the cream rises to the top. If you, like you were saying earlier, like if the art is there, like, you know, the brand is there, then like, and the putting in the hours and time, it's just gonna like you're gonna get noticed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors involved with getting noticed, but it's more about you have, you know, it all comes down to the person. Some people don't want to be, you know, some people just want to be a DJ. They don't want to make music. That's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. What makes you happy? That doesn't bother me at all. Some people want to be an artist. You know, that's where you have the difference. There's a lot of really big names right now that are just DJs. You know, they do have some music, but like, you know, it's the very tiniest little part of their set. You know, that's fun. Whatever you want to do, that's cool. But I think where the saturation comes in is when these trends come in, these hype trends, you know, that's when you have everybody trying to achieve a specific sound that they heard X person do, they heard X person do. That's where you get the issue of saturation, because, you know, some of those end up doing their own thing later down the road. So, you know, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's where your saturation comes from. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we definitely saw that earlier this year with mid-tempo for sure. You know, and a lot of people moved on to other stuff. You know, more power to them. That's cool. You know, but I don't want to ever tell myself I can or can't do something, because I want to have what I do, and I want everybody to know when they hear it, oh, that's Swarm, that's crazy, he's doing trap. You know, I did the song with Lucci, which was straight trap, but, you know, I had all the orchestration, all my sounds that I use a lot and all that kind of shit. It's not about the style, it's about the artist. And I think you're 100% right that we're coming back to my prediction earlier, is you're going to see specific like sections of electronic music just vanish, because it's already happening. You have Keizo had a huge crossover album, you know, Sullivan King does I hate to say crossover because that's becoming another dirty term now because people are like, oh, he's crossover, he's crossover. I'm like, I'm not trying to cross over. I'm just trying to make good music that you can listen to outside of the club, you know? If festivals die off and everybody stops going to electronic music shows, I want people to be able to listen to my music. You're definitely going to see all the lines get blurred more and more and more. Even in hip hop, you got Suicide Boys who did their EP with Travis Barker and Monkey from Korn. What the fuck? It's so fucking sick, but it's hip hop, rock, and organic drums sometimes. Like it works. People that are doing things, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. That's irrelevant. Nobody cares. When you do something well, that's when like, holy shit. Then people don't care like, oh, they're trying to go crossover. If you go in with that mindset, like people are automatically going to be like, what the fuck? Like just like, oh, he's a mid-tempo producer. He's a rhythm producer. Like people are automatically going to assume this is what they want to hear. This is what they're about to hear. But if you're just like, this artist is so cool, you should totally check him out. He does like dark music or he does, it's kind of like metalish music. That's what is the key is just music. Let music be music. That's what I think. Sorry, I'm rambling now, but I feel very passionately about this.
That's good. I love it. You definitely have like a specific.
Love you, Sevigny. Sorry.
What's good, chat? You for sure have like a very specific sound. Like it's that. I don't know how you made that synth. That sounds kind of like a guitar. It's like really low, but it's like in a lot of your tracks. It reminds me of like. I don't know what it is, but it sounds.
What? Well, listen to Meshuggah.
Oh, Meshuggah. Yes, I've heard Meshuggah. I've heard that they invented the sort of like that djenty like palm muting technique. They made it popular. Like the that sound.
Oh yeah, that was my influence in making it because I thought like, whoa, nobody's doing this. But that's that it took a while to kind of fine tune it. But I'm doing a remix for somebody right now, and it's like the pinnacle of me trying to put all my roots in one song. It's just fucking wild, and it's so down tuned. It's kind of a challenge for me to work on it, but it's been a lot of fun because it's so aggressive, and that's why I like when you hear that Meshuggah, that guitar tone. That's like the fucking lowest, most just disgustingly like, oh my god. Fuck you! I just want to fucking space in.
I mean,
that's what I
think they're
want.
using like a 7-string or an 8-string or something like that to get that.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to like I don't know what else to call it, but like I guess like djenty like bands that are like still heavy and they're using drop D. I mean, it's heavy, but it's not like djent heavy where you have like the 8-string or 9-string.
Well, they're on that low note, which takes a lot of. You gotta give it up for them for getting like still a discernible note when it's that low, because it's just like, how in the fuck is your string even on your guitar at that point?
I think it's because it's like it's analog and electricity at the same time. So, so that's like why it's electric. So like you're able to get that like because the analog has like so many more like infinite harmonics.
Yeah.
Compared to like ones and zeros of the digital world, you're just able to make it work. Whereas like in the digital world, like you kind of start losing your shit around D or D flat, unless like you're really saturating it, and even then it can be it's more of just a tone, like a rumble tone.
Right. Well, I've found ways to get around that. I don't know how, but that's been my quest for the past years to find out how to make discernible notes that low. But here's the thing, in doing that, like I can still write in E and D and D sharp and but like where I really, really get like all my most aggressive songs are always in like B flat or G sharp. Those are all the most aggressive ones. Like the one with you, that is the coolest hybrid I've come up with recently of dance and just fucking punch your mom in the face metal shit.
Yeah, you really like.
You didn't react well to punch your mom in the face. Come on, give me a better laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
it's really cool. You like your electronic gents are really well done. I've tried making sounds like that before, but I feel like you've done a really good job, and it's because you're using like, I mean, it sounds like you're like layering the kick and your synth. Like that's what the metalheads would do when they were doing it. They would just like play the bass and the guitar and the kick all at the same time.
Yep.
Which is like really impressive to do live. Like when we're doing it in the DAW, we're just like lining shit up and like calling it a day.
Yeah. Yes, I do punch a lot of people in the face. Thank you. You should see me play live. But no, that's exactly what it is. And that's what, that was my discovery, is when I realized like, okay, I know what I want to do now. And I know like my aggressive parts, I know what I want to do. I want it to be reminiscent of breakdowns, but I want to have electronic, but I don't want it to be a fake guitar. I don't want to do fake guitars. Fuck fake guitars. Like, you can make it sound great. Wonderful. That's amazing. I can't. I suck at that. I play real guitar, but when I try to inject my real guitar, a lot of the times, but with it, besides layering, there are a couple songs where it's like, this has to have something else. So I layer my own guitar playing, the same note. But like on its own, like electronic is so punchy and in your face. It's really, really hard to mix organic and to make it sound as powerful as it needs to be. Sullivan King does it well. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he somehow makes his guitar sound good, and live it sounds so good too. So good job, Keaton. Good job. Even though I blocked you, sorry about that. Yeah.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you what you think about the Loudness War. Are you familiar? Of course you're familiar with that, right?
Yep.
Because like when I see some of I like put your tracks in Record Box. Like when I'm making like mixes, I like to play a lot of your tracks out because you have some bangers. And like you have like a very variety of like masters. At least it seems like it. Some of them are like really like aggressive and loud, and other ones are like that one with Lizzie Jane, Sleep Tonight. Am I getting the title right? That one? That one's just like really low end, and it's loud, but it's not like too loud. And so I thought you might have an interesting opinion on the Loudness War.
Well, I'll tell you the reason for that. I will answer your question, but the reason why you see such a variety of masters is because I'm so new at this. I had no idea what I was doing up until, I would say, the first song I ever like listened is like, man, I'm really happy with this, was probably Singing to the Sky with Authors. And that was a perfect combo of loud and clean as fuck. That was one of the cleaner mixes I've gotten, and I was really, really proud of that. But before that, even Sleep Forever, like I was just blindly fucking trying shit, hoping that it would make things sound good. But after that, I understood so much more about what I do need to do and what I do not need to do. And some things what I do is kind of hard to mix sometimes, so I'm still getting the hang of that. But these last few that I've done, I'm really proud of the mixing. And but on the other hand, there are people that just destroy the fuck out of the song, and I don't care for that personally. But I mean, it's all relative to the song though. Some songs are more dynamic. I just don't like it when every dynamic is squashed. I fucking hate that. You can have the loudest goddamn track in the world. That's cool, but like, as long as it's all about.
Whoa, Swarm. You still with me, buddy? Brandon? Okay, I think hopefully he'll come back soon. Want to do a quick shout out in the chat. What's good, Marty Fowler? I miss you, buddy. He's the home. See you again. Oh shit, we lost him. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring him back, guys. Yo, Marty, what's good? Okay, we're gonna try to bring him back. Okay, how do we summon Swarm? Low notes. Okay, guys, just think about low notes.
God damn it. I don't care if it's fucking 0 on your fucking RMS scale. I don't care. Like, as long as it sounds good and everything you know, there's really simple tracks that can just be absolute loud as all fuck, but like you can still hear what's going on. That's cool. Especially, you know, especially when it comes to simpler music, it's a lot easier to get just a fucking ridiculous amount of loudness out of it, you know. But that's all I really care about. I don't feel, I do, okay, I lied. I do feel a little pressure to bring up the volume, but like I've come to terms with the fact that there's a lot of my shit, especially with those kicks and all the transients in my songs, that it's not going to be as loud as some of these just straight, you know, raw in your face, like, you know, simple, straightforward, you know, tracks that, you know, I'm referencing for sound, because it's not going to happen because of all of the elements in it that have to work together. It's not going to happen. That's fine. You know what I'm going to do at that point? Turn up my fucking volume if I'm listening to it, or I'm going to turn up the trim if I'm playing it live. It doesn't bother me that much anymore. And especially like if it sounds crisp and clean, that's all that really matters to me. You know, there's a point, like I don't want my fucking, you know, I don't want a really, really quiet song, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore, because I actually know what I'm doing now. But I don't feel pressured to bring it up to a certain level, because I don't think that's necessary, and it's not really possible with the kind of shit I'm doing.
Realistic. I kind of like for a little bit got caught up in like a loudness war with like my latest remix of Cell Dweller that I showed you. I don't know if you listened to it yet. I actually like uploaded it like yesterday and fixed it, but like before Thursday, before Wednesday, like I put like 4 compressors on it, like a compressor, a dynamic compressor, and then like.
Hold on one second, dude. Hold on 1 second. I just saw a comment here I have to address.
What's
Philo.
up?
He says, ew, turn up the trim, making every club sound guy cringe at once. If my track is a lower volume, I don't want a dramatic drop off in volume. I'm not saying crank it up and redline it. But if a song is really dynamic and I'm about to mix it in after a really loud track, I'm going to turn up the trim a little bit, so you don't get this giant drop off in sound. I'm not a redliner. I'm just wanted to address that.
Yeah, that's what the trim is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're DJing correctly and you're like, you
want everything to be the same volume.
I mean, what you're supposed to do, but like no one even does this, is you're not even supposed to really go into the yellow, but like, but everyone kind of just like, if they're good, will like sort of just barely lick the red. But like if you're DJing properly and you have that headroom, using the trim, that's what it's for. It's like right. The sound guy probably won't cringe. He'll be like, "Oh, sick! This guy knows what he's doing."
Right. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you there, but yeah, I had to address that because, but I love you anyway, Philo. So you were talking about all the compression and shit. You felt like you over compressed it.
Well, because I was like I was basically chasing a waveform and like an RMS number, which is really stupid. You should not do that. And I don't know why I got caught into that. I was just doing that.
It's easy to do, especially with some of the shit that's, you know, that gets popular and all these, you know, these masters and mixes that are just so fucking loud. You know, I don't remember what it was, but I got a request one release to get a certain RMS number, and I'm just like, this song is not going to go that high, so I just sent it in anyway. I was like, it sounds great, so just take this. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I'm just like, I'm not going to blow my master out to get some absurdly high RMS number. That's just dumb.
Yeah, I think I like, before my most recent master, like I was at like -1 or something like that on the drops, and I was like, oh, sick, like thinking I was super awesome, and like looking at my waveform, like almost like pink, like in Record Box, and then like I listened to it in the car, and it was like there were no dynamics, and it was like it just did not sound good. Like the drops didn't really hit that hard, like the bass wasn't.
When you lose your dynamics, it makes, especially when you get loud, the louder you go, the more you're gonna have to compromise, especially when it comes to like things like sub and bass and stuff. Like it just, you lose a lot of that. Like it can still hit, and you know, especially when it comes to your mix down, that you can still hit, you know, a higher number. And when I say high, because I saw somebody ask, when I say high, anything above to be for me, something really, really high is probably above 4 RMS, or -4 rather. That to me, like I only have one song that I know of that goes over that, but it worked. So I'm like, I'm not going to tell myself I can't hit a certain number. Like that's dumb too. So I just try to let the song do it. If it sounds good and everything sounds clean, I'm good with it. Of course, I'm going to try to get it as, you know, because if I can get it louder, and if I feel like it needs to be louder, yeah, of course I'm gonna put it louder. Like Singing to the Sky with, again, authors. Like I keep referencing that song because I think it peaks at somewhere around -3 RMS, which is, to me, I was just like, I don't know how I did this, but it doesn't sound blown out, so I'm just gonna let it go. But I don't really hit that ever. So usually mine hover around 4 to 5, -4 to 5.
Yo, what's good, Marty? So, I don't really fuck with LUFS, to be honest. That's kind of more of a newer thing, and like, I guess it's more accurate. But because like I'm so used to RMS, and like the plugin I use, like Ozone, like has a really cool like RMS reader.
That's what I use.
I guess like the newer Ozones have LUFS, but like I'm more familiar with like RMS. And to be honest, I just don't understand LUFS. So like, I mean, I guess I should like learn, but like I didn't.
I was, when I first started, I think I've been producing, actually in a couple weeks, it'll be exactly 3 years. So, but when I first started, yeah, it was always RMS. I never really did anything because I had very simple tools. I never really used LUFS, or I never like learned about LUFS. So I still do use RMS too. So I'm in the same boat with you there.
So,
but again, I use my ear before anything else. I want to also say that because
that's good.
My ears are becoming to where I can hear when something's really off, and I can kind of figure out what it is relatively quickly. There are some mixes that I have that are just like, God damn it, like what in the fuck is making this do that? But yeah. But yeah, RMS is what I've been using, and my ear first and foremost.
So Phyla asks, can you explain RMS and LUFS for us rookies? I can explain RMS, but I don't think I can explain LUFS because like I said, I don't really understand it. I might. I barely kind of understand RMS. Like a lot of this mastering stuff is like kind of new for me. Like, and by new I mean like a couple of years. Like I've been producing for almost 20 years, and I've been mastering for like maybe only 3. So like, okay, so RMS is like the space between like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like you have like a peak, like right here, like the highest sound and like the lowest sound, and it's measuring like this space. Does that make sense? Brandon, do you think you can explain it better? Because like that was my explanation. That's kind of like how I visualize RMS.
I'm not even gonna pretend like I do anything else. I use that as my reference for how loud the track is. I don't know specifics when it comes to that. I really don't. I'm not even gonna pretend like I do. I just know what sounds good, and then that is what I use to measure my loudness.
Yeah, put it quite simply, it's just like a meter of loudness, and it has to do with like the average level, because like you can't go past 0. So to get like things sounding loud, like your ear will like think things are louder if like the average sound is loud and closer to 0. And so like low RMS means like, so my thumb is like the lowest sound, and like my 2 fingers is like the highest sound. So like -4 RMS is like this, and like -3 RMS is this, and like -0 RMS is like that, if that makes sense. Sorry,
that's when you have squash master.
Yeah,
because it's literally squashed.
But like so certain genres, like
yeah, it was. I mean, certain, especially shit like dubstep. But some of it works where there's not a lot of variation. When you go drop right to build, you don't need it. So you just fucking blow it through the roof. Yeah. But yeah. But anyway, so I'm in the same boat with you there.
I kind of like. I mean, I used to be like 4 was like my limit. but then like I don't know what happened. I kind of started trying to push it more and more and more. More of like it started of like a technical like test to see like how hard can I go, and then it got kind of ridiculous. And I was just chasing waveforms, and I was like, oh shit, like these are the consequences. I fucked my mix up. But what I've been doing to get like high RMS is like having like a good mix, and then when I'm mastering, I'll like use like the I'll like low cut like or not low cut, I'll like high cut everything like so I could hear, like this is like at the final stage, just so I could like hear the low end. You know how like you can solo with like the low bands in the multi-band distorting, and so I'll like lower the threshold until I hear it distorting, and then once I hear the low end distorting, I like ease up, because like if you distort the low end, you're really like messing up all your work. But like if you distort the high end and you have like a good saturator or a good compressor, you can kind of get away with it, because like, I mean, it really depends. If you're using good tools like distorting, like you can like soft clip the high end and it's like okay if you're like not doing it too much. But like you can get carried away, and
of course. No, of course. It's all about, again, that's why everything is going to be different from song to song, because some songs you can take an absurdly loud, it can take an absurdly loud master and getting that soft clipping everywhere. That's cool on some, but some it's just not going to work. And I just have learned the difference of when it will and when it won't.
Yo, Marty, it was good having you in the chat. I miss you. We should catch up soon. I think it's been years since we've chatted. Brandon Martin is like a old school homie of mine. I haven't seen in a while. It's cool. He's like a bass player, so it's cool that he was here. Thanks for joining the chat and offering your opinions on LUFS. I'll check into that, because like I do care about streaming. I do know that like I think Spotify like masters your track for you. So like if you, I think what artists are probably going to do in the future, if they're not doing it now, is they're making like multiple masters, like a master for the DJ, a master like for Beatport basically, and a master for Spotify. I don't do that. I kind of just do one master, but like it's probably more optimal to like do that.
I do a couple different versions for, I know what SoundCloud makes sound like absolute dog shit. So I have a SoundCloud specific one. The one that goes to Spotify and the one I play live are the same, because, but again, I don't go up to streaming quality on SoundCloud. Is like makes me want to fucking heave-ho myself off a bridge. But
pretty good.
Let's see. I saw a good question here. Do you guys write and mix with a basic master on? I don't. What I do is I have I write. I put a limiter on my master, because I write really low, like it's super quiet. But I write with a limiter on. Hey Lucille, what's up? I write with a limiter on, and I turn it on and crank it up so I have a normal volume. But before I export it to mastering, I turn everything so there's nothing whatsoever on the master before I export it to mastering. But I write with a limiter on so I can crank up the volume, so I can actually not have to literally turn everything to max, just in case something pops up. Like I have a squeal or some shit, I have a fucking limiter there, so it's not gonna destroy my fucking face. Even though you might think I like that, and under some circumstances I might like to get my face destroyed, but not in this case.
Yeah, I actually used to, like when I was first starting to produce, like I would produce like really quietly and just have like my volume knob on my audio interface like at max so I could hear it. Now I've been actually like using like FabFilter and just like boost it by everything by like 6.
Yep.
Until like I really go into the mixing stage, then I'll like kind of throttle it depending on like what I need. As I've got like more experience, like I've been like more like adventurous with like putting shit on the master like while I'm producing. But like when you're just starting, it can be kind of sketchy unless you're just using it like how Brandon said, just to like kind of save your ears.
Yeah, but again, when I export to master, because I master in a separate project, when I export to master, there's nothing whatsoever on the master, nothing. Actually, that's not true. I have a utility on the master because I do all my high passing before the drop and my width reduction before the drop in the project before master. So I have a utility on it, but that's all it's doing is controlling the width. And sometimes if it's louder, I'll take down the volume just a really tiny bit with the utility before the drop.
So you're using Ableton.
Yeah, I use Ableton.
I'm assuming that's your favorite DAW.
Yes. Yeah, I had a couple other ones. I couldn't. Yeah, it's automated. I automate it. Easy EXTY. I automate it so when I export, it has that width reduction and sometimes a little bit of volume reduction before the drop. But everything else is done in the mastering. But yeah, I use Ableton. I've tried FL and I've tried a couple other ones. My brain is weird, man. None of the other ones make sense to me. Plus, Ableton is what I was introduced to first, so that just feels natural.
Oh, really? That was your first DAW you used?
Yep. I had Ableton Lite 7 or 8. Lite, so you had like a max of 8 tracks. It was fucking wild.
Interesting. That might be like
that's like the free version that comes bundled with like keyboards and shit.
I've been using Ableton recently. I really like it. It's not my favorite DAW, but like I love how simplistic. Like Ableton like reminds me of like an application that you would have on your phone. Like it's just
everything is so easy to find.
It's made there. It's just like simplistic. It's not trying to be super complicated. Like Logic, I think has like 10 windows or like all this crazy stuff, and it's really technical.
Windows fucking freak me out. I can't I'll never have applications open on my phone. I'll always close them because Windows, application windows, all that shit is I don't know why, it just bugs me out. But yeah, Ableton is all in one. I'm just like, I saw FL, you can move shit around. I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking move shit around. Like, I want it all right in front of me, which is why I like Ableton.
I know FL is pretty popular though, just because it's very creative. But I was introduced to Pro Tools because that was like industry standard. Probably still is industry standard, and like I know
for regular music, it is. It still is. It's kind of dated at this point, I think, but that's what I used to record when we went to studios for metal and shit. That's what they used, Pro Tools.
It's really powerful.
Always crashed. Always, all the fucking time. I remember that.
Yeah, Pro Tools and Logic were like the industry standard for like regular music. And then like I got into Cubase, but that was really hard and I didn't really like it. And at this point, like in 2003, when I'm learning, Ableton was just like a DJ tool. It wasn't really a DAW at that point. So I was using Reason, and I fucking love Reason because it like the graphics in it make you think you're like in a real studio, and it is really complicated. I think if I was like starting now, I'd probably go with Ableton, but because I know Reason so well, and they finally like have like VST ability. They used to not have VST or recording ability. It was
I remember that.
It was very basic, but like it was so cool that you can create all these synths and like use the combinator and whatnot. So I love using Reason, but like I love using Ableton also now. I'm like playing with it and like getting around it. It's really easy to learn, and I kind of like it because like it's probably be fun to collab with people like using the same DAW because like no one I know uses Reason.
I know one other person that uses Reason. He came over and showed me, and I was just like, what in the fuck is happening? I did not understand it all. There's too much shit that you can move around. I can't handle that.
Yeah, it's pretty technical and complicated and like overly complicated and in Reason compared to like Ableton. In Ableton you could like have like 15 serums and not even like get close to like running out of CPU, whereas that would be kind of rough in Reason because it's using a lot of it to make its graphics look nice and pretty.
Yep. Too many moving parts stresses me out. I can't handle it. Oh, damn it.
Oh shit. that's your dude in the background. Is that like a tapestry? Oh
No,
shit,
it's a
you got it
banner.
on your hand?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
it's my mark.
When do we learn who that is? Is there gonna be like, is this leading up to something?
No, that's just my. I always wanted an emblem. Actually, you can see the what it is though. It's my cover. It's a takeoff of my cover for Savior, which I made. I made that cover, and I guess technically that dude is me on the cover of my song Savior. But yeah, it's like it's an emblem. I wanted an easily recognizable emblem, and that actually worked out really well. That I used that because Savior was also like the first song that I got support on. So it's just kind of a personal thing, and I just think it looks really cool.
Are you Easy Production asks, do you got any stickers of that? That would make a good sticker.
We're gonna make some. We're about to do another merch drop that will have a bunch of different shit. So yes, they're coming. Hey, Chakra, what's up?
What's good, Chakra Music?
He's awesome. But yeah, so it's a takeoff of an art piece that turned into my cover that I did, and then it was also one of my first songs that like got noticed by somebody. So it's kind of a personal and cool thing, I guess. Kind of like all my music, actually.
So, as far as like, do you have like a dream collab that you would like, someone like you would love to collab with?
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely do. It's probably not going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen because I think they're almost done. But I want to do a song with Rammstein. It's my favorite band ever. It'd be amazing. But realistically, I want to do a song with The Browning. It's a metal band that does a lot of electronic shit in it. I definitely want to do a song with them. I want to do a song with Cell Dweller. I want to do a song with. I think actually, I would, believe it or not, I would actually really like to do a song with Rez because, you know, she's obviously, you know, she's one of the titans of this style of music. Even though I go all over the place, like, you know, she was definitely a lead-in to the darker mid-tempo stuff. So I definitely like to do a song with her. But yeah, I think my current goal is Cell Dweller. That would be a really great song, I think. And then The Browning, that would be definitely my next two goals for sure.
Dude, I think you could do it totally.
I think it'll happen.
I think a Rez and Swarm like track would be legendary.
I think so too. Sorry, I dropped my vape.
She definitely is one of the pioneers of. I mean, I know Christoffelstein did it first. I mean, I guess that's debatable who did it first, but like he did it before her. But like she has kind of. Okay, hold on. Yo, Brandon.
I swear to God.
So here we have to.
It just tells me thanks for joining in, and then just kicks me off.
Okay.
God damn it.
So we have to wrap this up. I still have more questions I want to ask you. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah.
But like what happens is Instagram Live only lets you go for like I think an
Rachel,
hour.
what are you laughing at? What the fuck? Anyways, go ahead.
It only lets you go for an hour, and I wasn't keeping track of time. But it's
okay.
So like we started at 7, it's 8 now. So we're just gonna wrap this up by like saying like, yo, dude, thank you for chatting with me, and like we have some damn time like flew by.
Yeah.
It's always fun like chatting with like other artists about music and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
So why don't you like what are your upcoming shows? Where can people see you next?
Yep. Let's see. So at midnight, my remix for AT Aliens comes out. Tonight. I'm stoked about that. Tomorrow, actually, I'll be on a flight to play on the other tour I'm on with Figure in Madison, Wisconsin tomorrow night. I'll be on that flight in about 6 hours. And then later on this month, let's see, Portland, Seattle, that's with Sullivan King on his tour. That'll continue through December and January. Then I know we go all down Florida, where I'm from. Gonna work with Cannibal and some more before the year's done. think that's it for now. But thanks for having me, man. This was a lot of
Dude.
fun. I appreciate you a lot.
Thanks for being here. So you heard it. He's got a track dropping at midnight. Hope you check that out. We also have a collab together that I don't know when it's coming out, but we just
I can't wait.
did.
So good.
Yeah, man, it was so much fun. Anyway, dude, hope you have a great rest of your evening. Peace out. People that are watching this on YouTube, comment below. Let me know like what you think of this, who you want to see next on Getting Social, and that's about it, man. Peace out. Have a great day.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Take care. See you soon.
See ya. Peace out.
Later.
Mommy? Yep.
Bye, guys.